Hi, everyone. It's Matt, and today I have the honor of speaking with author Justin Campana. Hi, Justin.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
How are you today?
I'm good,
Oh,
thank
I'm
you.
good, thank you.
Awesome.
Great start to the interview. Great start.
Agreed.
Um, okay, so why don't you tell me and everyone else in the world a little bit about yourself? Where are you from, and what's a day in the life of Justin like?
Well, I'm from New Jersey. We're known for our pork roll versus Taylor ham debate. It's pork roll. And we're known for having a Wawa every 5 minutes within each other. And I'm a full-time student, but I'm also a cashier. So I mix the two. And fingers crossed, one day writing helps me pay the bills.
I think we can all hope for that.
I know, right?
Now I have to ask, what is a Wawa?
Oh
I'm
my.
from Illinois, so I have no idea what that means.
So Wawa is Wawa's a gas station, but it's also a convenience store. So there's like a million Wawas in Jersey within 5 minutes of each other. I literally have three Wawas by my house.
Okay, well, all right then. I don't know if you've heard of it, but we have those, but it's called Hucks here.
What's it called?
Hucks, like
Never.
Huckleberry Finn. It's a gas
Ah,
station brand in the Midwest, so I understand.
yeah.
Um, all right, so when did you know that you wanted to be a writer?
Basically, since I was a kid, I've always loved writing stories. I've always loved rewriting other people's stories, but changing the names. And then when I found out I can do my own stories, and I actually had a creative mindset, I just started writing anything. In middle school, definitely, I wrote a novella, and it was terrible, but it definitely means something to me that I actually was able to write something. And now
That
yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah. Um, so regarding your writing, you did decide to make the decision to self-publish your work. That's a big decision for any writer to make. Should I be traditionally published, or should I just go ahead and self-publish? What led to that decision, and like, do you regret it, or what are some of the perks with being self-published author these days?
Well, I've sent my old friend, which is my first book, to a couple agents. Not a lot of success, but I was also toying with the idea of self-publishing, and I actually did a poll in a Facebook group that has since been archived. I missed that group, and I was like, I'm kind of confused. Do you think I should self-publish or stick with traditional publishing? And a lot of people were like, self-publishing has a lot of freedom. You can always traditionally publish your next book. There's a lot of fun with self-publishing, and I like it because I do get freedom in some sense. It's I can put it out whenever I want to. I don't have to wait long. But in a sense, I still hope to be traditionally published one day and see my book in a Barnes and Noble.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that completely. Getting traditionally published is a lot harder than people make it out to be sometimes. I have some friends who are traditionally published, but they said it took them 10 plus years to actually get out there.
Yeah.
So, so self-publishing is a good way to go in this day and age, especially you know, uh, with quickness at least, because traditionally published books often take a longer time to get out there and
I
whatnot.
mean, yeah, look at Kirsten Modulin. She has a new book come out every 2 months.
She's an impressive specimen. I don't know how she does that. I've known her for 3 years now. When I first met her, I don't remember how many books she said she had out, but she wasn't as big as she is now. But she told me her writing schedule, and I was just like, how do you have the time?
Thankfully, that's what pays the bills.
Right.
So
Okay.
jealous.
And exactly. And going back to your two books that you currently have out through Barnes and Noble Press, which can be found on barnesandnoble.com.
Yep.
My old friend, yep, there they are, my old friend, and Close Ties. Tell me a little bit about those books or tell everyone about those books for those who have not bought them yet or maybe considering buying them.
So, My Old Friend, it is a psychological thriller. It is about a man named Patrick Egan, who is a horror novelist, and 11 years prior to the events of the novel, his once best friend Mike tried to kill him after killing his brother. Mike killed his own brother, and he almost succeeded in killing Patrick, but the cops came in time, and Mike wanted revenge ever since. So now he's escaped from prison and is after Patrick. But we're also getting the perspective of Mike of what happened long before the event of the killing. And we're wondering, is Patrick as innocent as he seems? What happened with Mike? A lot of things. And it's very crazy. I don't want to get into spoilers because there's a lot going on.
Of
And then
course,
Close
yes.
Ties is a detective novel. I wouldn't call it a mystery because you do get a perspective of the killer, but it's about a not down on his luck, but kind of worn out detective Arthur Wright and the case of the vanishing man who murdered upcoming actress Vera Parker 20 years prior. And then Wright has the suspicion that he's coming back because a lot of women are dying and getting murdered in the same brutal fashion. And he wants to uncover that. But, the vanishing man is a lot smarter than one might think.
Like any good villain should be.
Any dumb villain is not a good villain. So just
agreed, yes.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. Those both sound very interesting.
Thank you.
How long did it take for you to finish that first novel of yours, My Old Friend?
So I wrote it for National Novel Writing Month in 2018. And then I spent the next 2.5 years on and off editing it, rewriting it. So it was a process. It didn't take me too long. In fact, I actually wrote the last 140 pages within a month because when I revisited the story at that time, it was a good time. So I just whipped it out and I was pretty happy with it.
Okay. And did the process go a little, like, when you wrote the second book, did it feel like it was a lot easier that time around? Like it was a lot quicker?
Yes, because Close Ties I wrote for NaNoWriMo in 2020, and I kind of put it down for a bit as well. But this semester, because I'm in college, I'm taking a detective fiction class, and I'm like, I have a detective character. I can revisit him. And I sent Close Ties to a couple editors. They really liked it, and I felt like it was in a good spot to put on Barnes and Noble Press.
Okay, cool. And let's see here. In your honest opinion, what is the best part about being an author or writer, whatever you consider yourself? What is the best part of that?
I love when my friends or even random readers, they say to me, "Oh, I read this book in one sitting," or "I did not see that ending coming." I just love getting comments like that because it kind of gives me the reason to keep going at it because it's what I'm going for, because that's what I like reading. I love unputdownable thrillers. I love twists you can't see coming. And when someone says that my book did that, it makes me happy because, like I said, that's what I'm going for. So the fact that I did that.
Well, that's awesome. I think any writer loves hearing those comments. And let's see here. So if you could give any kind of one piece of advice to someone out there who says, I want to pursue a writing career, but I don't know how to go about it. I like someone who really wants to put in the work, who wants to put in the time and patience it takes to become a writer and write a book. What advice would you give to them if you could give them one piece?
Keep going. I'm not even going to say never give up because that's too cliched, but keep going. You're never going to find no, you are going to find your voice, but you're never going to be 100% perfect. Even I'm still learning. So if you just keep going and eventually find your voice and love your work, the process will be there with you no matter where you want to go. Just be happy with what you're doing.
That's awesome advice. I like that.
Thank you.
And lastly, I know you mentioned earlier that you do side jobs and you go to school and stuff, and eventually you do want writing to be your long-term career. So in
Yes.
10 years from now, so do you want what do you want from your writing? Do you want to be have like 10 books out or more, or do you want to try to shoot for a little bit less? What kind of goals do you have for yourself as a writer?
I would love to shoot out all the books in my head. Um, I would just love to make a career out of writing. I want what any writer wants. And of course, I do want movie adaptations, but I have to be a little realistic here. But for the most part, I just want to do what I love, which is writing, and I want that to pay the bills.
I completely understand that. Movie adaptations are always an
Oh,
extra nice side dream to have.
oh yeah.
And,
Unless you're JD Salinger.
right. Actually, that brings up another question for you. If someone could play the main character in your two books, who would they be? If you could pick any actor that is out there, which actor would you pick for your main characters from each book?
Hmm. I guess because they're around the same age and they look alike, I would love Robbie Amell to play Patrick. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with Robbie Amell?
Right.
Um, I know, right? And for Arthur Wright, I guess Christian Bale is the closest I can think to, who I can see as him.
Okay. I love both
Yeah,
those actors. So, yeah, I completely agree with this.
right?
All right. Well, that is all the questions I have listed down. But first and foremost, I want to thank you very much for your time and sitting and talking with me and doing this for me. Second of all, to all those watching, I do want you to know that, again, his books are available at barnesandnoble.com. Again, the titles of those books are My Old Friend and Close Ties. And I will post the links down below this video so you can find them. And also I will post the links to Justin's social media if you want to follow him during his career with future projects. And yes, again, thank you so much, Justin.
Thank you for having me here, Matt. It was great.